Today I want to take this opportunity to talk to you about all the money reflections I've had for this entire year. And all of these weren't apparent to me right away. And honestly, I was just thinking about this the other day, and all this stuff just flooded in my mind about the things that I would do differently and what I think should happen going forward, and especially throughout this next year, to put me in the best position to win. And hopefully you get something really valuable out of this video that you can apply to your life and you can win. That is what my hope is for you. But just so you know, my strategy is not at all reliant on hope. It's based on facts, and it's based on things that I have adjusted myself on. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started and jump right into what I want to talk about. And so the premise of this video is a lot of us are playing the wrong game. And you've probably heard a lot of cliche things about trading your time for money and blah, 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 and how, you're a sucker if you do that type of thing. That's part of the reason why we're playing the wrong game. We fall into these narratives that tell us that having a 9-to-5 is bad or that's not cutting it, when we don't realize that that's actually the baseline for you. That's the first portion. That's the first stepping stone of you getting to where you want to be financially. And for a lot of people, you might not need anything more than that, especially if you continue to move on up. So first of all, don't fall into that narrative. We'll come back to the idea that we're playing the wrong game throughout this video, but I just want that to be fresh on your mind. But the first reflection that I've had throughout this year is that you have to do things even if you don't feel like doing them. That is part of being an adult. And for most people, I notice, because I'm a manager, I know this, a lot of people go to work, right, and they actively talk about their money problems or their dreams that they want, or they want to invest in something, they want to buy a house, whatever. They talk about their goals, their financial goals, a lot. Everybody wants to make more money. That is not a question at all. That is an absolute fact. Everybody wants more money, and I know I want more money. So I just want to put that out there. Yet, the moment we don't feel like going to work, what do? Let me call off. Something really bad has to happen for me to call off work. So I say all of that because it doesn't just relate to work. It relates to working out outside of work. It relates to any projects you have, any entrepreneurial related things. So if you notice, for a long time, I'm talking like this is the longest I've been consistent on YouTube, was this year. I have not posted on YouTube. Whereas the past couple of years, I would take like 4 months off and just get my mind right. But I'm not doing that anymore. What I've done is I've created a series in which I'm showing you how I'm doing personal finances and what the results are and what I'm adjusting and what I'm changing about it. And that is powerful because it's showing you in real time what I'm doing, right? And I'm not like trying to figure it out completely, because I figured most of it out. But where there's parts that I know that I can improve, I want to share that with you, because you deserve to see what I'm adjusting on. Because as a person, I'm going to evolve, you're going to evolve, everyone's going to evolve. But if I don't show you, how are you going to know about it? Because not too many people are on YouTube actively showing people, literal viewpoint into their financial lives. I'm showing you my spending habits. I'm showing you my saving habits. I'm showing you my investing. I'm showing you exactly what I'm invested in. I'm showing you how much I'm allocated within each investment. Not too many people do that type of thing. And frankly, it's private information, but I want to share it with you because I want you to learn something out of this. That what I'm doing is not out of luck. It is not at random. It is very, very intentional and strategic. And I just want you to learn that. So when I don't feel like investing because the stocks are too high, or I didn't feel like investing in crypto because I felt like it was too risky, or if I didn't, feel like posting a YouTube video, every time I didn't feel like doing those things but did it anyway, it added value to someone. For example, the YouTube videos, they add value to you, and I can tell in your comments, and I can tell by the DMs that I get, and I can tell by the people who are part of my group called Wealth Journey Collective. I can tell that I'm adding value, and I want to add value to people and help them throughout their personal financial life. I know that's a weird phrase to say, but that's what I truly want to do. And I can't mean that if I'm taking it upon myself to say, oh, I'm going to take a few months off. I'm not going to be consistent today. It's a choice to give up. It's a choice to stop. It's a choice to take a break. So if you had a business idea, or if you had work that you had scheduled to be at, you know what I'm saying? And you choose not to go just because you didn't feel like it, that's on you. And you missed out on some money. And I don't want any of y'all to miss out on any money at all. And one thing I can say is anytime I didn't feel like doing something and I did it anyway, I was always like, man, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I invested in that crypto. I'm glad I invested in those stocks. I'm glad I posted that YouTube video. I'm glad I launched this new project called Wealth Journey Collective, which you can click down the link in the description if you want access to it. That was a nice, you gotta admit that was nice, wasn't it? But anyway, this lesson mostly has to do with self-confidence. And that's something a lot of people don't think about when it comes to personal finances. But for me, it is everything. Because if you don't have faith and belief and confidence within yourself, any financial adventure you want to go on and any financial endeavor becomes questionable. Because now you're like, can I do this? Am I cut out for this? Can I get that promotion? Can I make $100,000 a year? You know what I'm saying? It becomes, can I face all these people in this interview without getting nervous, without shaking, and being sharp and answering all the questions? These are the things that are going to add more money to your life. You really got to think about this thing. I'm being serious now. Honestly, it is part of self-confidence. But when we back out at the last minute, when we don't feel like doing the things that are hard, that'll then lead to an easier life, you really got to consider. I want you to think about this going into 2025 now. I want you to really consider what it is that you want to do, and I want you to simply commit to it. And we'll jump more into exactly why I feel this way about this particular topic, but we're going to jump into another thing right now, and I'm going to tie the two in together so you don't get confused and feel like I'm just rambling and talking about random stuff. This stuff makes a whole lot of sense, and it's going to add a tremendous amount of value to your life. So check this out. Another thing that I learned is that it's never smart to just do one thing at a time. And here's what I mean by that. So, like I was saying earlier, this is where I tie them in now. Like I was saying earlier, when you have a 9 to 5, people kind of downplay that, like, oh, I could never do a 9 to 5 and blah, blah, blah. But little do you know, most people who work 9 to 5s, and by 9 to 5s, I simply just mean full-time job. People who work full-time jobs tend to make more than most entrepreneurs, but the outlier entrepreneurs that are hyper successful, they're making millions and millions and some in the billions. You can't compare yourself to the outliers and the higher tier entrepreneurs when you're just getting started. And maybe the people watching my videos are not entrepreneurial, but I say that because it's important. Because the thing is, you could simply do something like work your job, and then when you want more money, work some overtime. And that's an obvious thing, and people have been doing this for years and years and years. That's great. But anytime that you want to do something else to add more money to your life, you don't have to just focus on one thing. And here's my whole reasoning behind that. Do you know that since 2019, I've been just grinding, trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm, pretty much chasing my tail, trying to figure out exactly what I'm trying to do with this channel. At first, this was not a personal finance channel. This was actually like a motivational and success channel, which turned into a financial channel once I realized that that's what came to me naturally, and that's what my audience wanted to see. And yeah, so if you didn't know that, fun fact, that was all I was focused on. Keep in mind, I was interested in the stock market. I was interested in investing, but I never did it because I was putting all my money towards learning about YouTube. And I didn't have to just do YouTube. I could have done YouTube and learned about stocks. And if I would have learned about stocks earlier, my net worth would probably be triple or quadruple what it is right now. And as y'all know, my net worth is in the 150,000s, and that's great. I'm 29, having a net worth like that, that's great. But what I'm saying is the way that people get better results than that, and even at a younger age, is by doing things consistently. And you don't have to stick to just one thing. But there's so much coaching out there that says, only do this, put your all into this one thing. No, that is a facade. I don't know where people get that mess from, but you just like you can do your full-time job and you can have a side hustle, you can have a side hustle and you can invest on the side. Like, come on. Like, the thing, and the reason I bring that up is because there's so many investments that I own right now that I'm like, man, where was I at when Bitcoin was $600? I'll tell you where I was at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just go back to the time where Bitcoin was $600 or when Apple was like $90. I just go back to what was I doing then? And, most of y'all have your leisurely time. Some of y'all like to drink, go out to the club, have fun, go to the bowling alley, go skating, whatever it is. Hang out with friends, hang out with people that maybe you don't hang out with anymore. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that is constant in all of this is you could have been doing that and on the side, like on the weekend, at the house, 1 hour a day. It doesn't even have to be that long, 30 minutes a day. You could have been researching ways to make more money in the stock market, but that was like a hidden gem to me because not everybody was talking about the stock market and they were saying, oh yeah, you get 4 to 8%. I'm like, 4 to 8%, that can go on somewhere with that mess. But you don't really truly understand what the percentage means, and you don't truly understand that it doesn't have to be 4 to 8% per year. It could be like 40% per year if you do it the right way. And I'm speaking from experience because I've done it. I'm up 60 something percent right now, and I'll show you a screenshot. But that's the thing that you need to know. And that's, throughout the year now. That's not even throughout the entirety of my portfolio. Right now I'm 149% up right now on my stocks, but just this year it's like 60 something percent. So I'm not BSing you when I say there is a lot of opportunity costs that we're missing out on because we're so focused on one thing. We're so focused on life. And what gave me this big breakthrough was I was talking to one of my family members when I went back home, and they got into AutoZone. They had a bunch of stocks that used to work there, and they ended up selling them all because they had other priorities, and they just sold them all. And I was like, do you know how much it is now? They were like, no. I was like, it's over $3,000 right now. So I don't know how many shares you had, but whatever amount of shares you had times 3,000, that's how much you would have had. They looked a little taken aback when I told them about this. And those things, I wasn't saying it to make them feel bad, but I say those things because you'll ask yourself things like, where was I at? Why didn't I hold on to it? Why? The thing is, we have this lovely thing called right now, the present. So while I was thinking about where was I at when Bitcoin was $600, well, I'm here right now and Bitcoin still exists. Ethereum still exists. Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, they still exist. I'm so happy that I hit a home run with Nvidia, got in at a low price, like $19 and some change, and now boom, it's up to 140 something, and it continues to go up. But that doesn't have to be my only home run, and I don't have to aim for home runs because with Nvidia, I wasn't aiming to hit a home run. I was aiming to invest in one of the best companies in the world, and it just so happened that it skyrocketed. And having that slow, steady, hands-off approach where I've already did the research on Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Google. We already know about these companies, Intel, VTI. I already know about that stuff, and just averaging in every month, but not every year did I contribute to that account. And this was one of those years, honestly, where I didn't actively contribute to that account. And if I had bought an Apple share every single month or more than one Apple share every single month, my portion of Apple that I own would be a lot larger than it is right now, because now it's in the 200s, and next year it'll likely go past the 300s because Apple is slow but steady. And I'm not here to nerd out on you or tell you about how you should invest in stocks. I'm simply saying that you lose out on a lot of money making opportunity trying to make money. And that's what I did. I was so busy chasing making an extra 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 extra dollars a month by posting on YouTube regularly that I forgot there's other things I could be doing. And if I would have just invested into certain things, that could have gotten me the very money that I was seeking to get in the first place. But I was so busy focused on just one thing. I'm not saying focus on 10 things at a time, but I'm saying if you have goals in life, you do not just have to eat, sleep, and drink that goal. You can do something else on the side while you're preparing to meet that goal. And so what I've decided to do was, yes, I'm still doing the entrepreneurship. I'm still posting on YouTube. I'm still, hosting my group called Wealth Journey Collective. I'm still selling my book. I'm still selling all my spreadsheets and all those lovely things. But at the end of the day, I'm so glad that I don't just do that, because on top of that, I'm doing stocks. I'm doing crypto. And the crypto account is going crazy. Like, I was like, I knew about XRP for a while, but when I saw that it got up to $1.44, I was like, let me go ahead and put $50 in this. Not even a few days later, I had doubled my money. And did I sell? No, I didn't sell because I'm a long-term holder. But my point is, if I wanted to sell, you know what I'm saying? Once you get the skill of how to invest, it's not like you have to relearn it. Like, you have that skill for life. And knowing how to invest, that's like a similar skill within stocks, within crypto. Anything that goes up and down, you know to buy when it goes down. You know not to overreact when it goes down. And you know when it goes up, you have an opportunity to take profit. I know right now I have an opportunity to take profit in NVIDIA and put it into something else. Now, if I choose to do that, that's a different story. But it's about options, and it's about knowing what you can and can't do. And if you're just focusing on one thing, and that could be focusing on fun after you've had a long week of work, if that's focusing on building a business after a long week of work, you know what I'm saying? Or focusing on hanging out with your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Yeah, all those things are great, but do you have to just do that? No, you don't. Yeah, you can listen to rap. You can have fun. You can go to concerts. You can hang out with your friends. You can hang out with your girlfriend. You can, play poker. You can play pool. You can do whatever you want to do. But when you forget about your future, and I strongly believe that if you do not at least look at investing, you are missing out on some serious future money, because I've just been passively investing and stuff has been, you know what I'm saying, skyrocketing because I did the appropriate research up front. And did it take a while? Yeah, it did. But at the end of the day, it ended up being such a simple approach and such an effective approach. I just don't understand why nobody else would do it. I mean, you're making money for clicking buttons on the internet, for God's sake. You're making money from the house. Who doesn't want to do that? And don't tell me, oh, I'm just bored. I just told you could have fun. But if you only dedicate your life to having fun, what are you really doing? What are you really building for yourself? Because you tell me you want to make your first $100,000. You tell me you want to be a millionaire. You tell me, you know what I'm saying, you want to retire. But at the same time and in the same breath, all you're focusing on is fun. And that's all I wanted to say. But that does bring me to my next point. My next point is simply this. Investing is one of the most lucrative things you can do. And you don't need a lot of money. Here's an example. I spent $2,200. Not all at once now, but I spent $2,200. And that turned into 15,856. If I'm looking down, because I'm looking at the numbers right now, because I want to be accurate for y'all. I got a screenshot ready for you. And I'm up 620.07% on that investment, which means I earned $13,654.44. If I wanted to cash out right now, I could put that in my pocket. You get what I'm saying? And some of y'all are in a position where y'all probably could use an extra few $1,000s in your pocket. And I'm simply saying you shouldn't do this, willy-nilly and just put money in there and that you can't afford to lose. I put money in there that I can afford to lose, and I don't mind losing because I accept the risk with stocks. But I understand stocks and the nature of stocks and the predictability of them enough to know I'm not going to lose on a company like NVIDIA. Even when they were going down, I was like, good, I'm putting more in. And yeah, it was nerve-wracking. Yeah, my stomach turned a few times, but I kept putting money in there. $200, $200, $270, $180, $100. I kept, on the way down, I kept putting money in. And the reason it ended up being an average of $19 because the stock split, the 10-to-1 split. So the amount of money, you know what I'm saying, that I put in there was divided by 10. In case anybody wants to get smart in the comments talking about some. Well, how was it an average of $19 if you spent all that money on it? I just told you why. Anyway, it's one of the most lucrative things you can do. And another question I was asking myself, where was I at when Ethereum was like $1,000, $2,000? Well, I'm here right now. I can average into Ethereum. I could put $100 a month into Ethereum or more. I can every time that I don't spend money on things that I normally would have spent money on, whether it's DoorDash, whether it's my private sessions with Muay Thai, whether it's my monthly subscriptions that I canceled, money can go from where I would have put it straight into Ethereum. It's going to be little by little, but eventually I'll have a full Ethereum coin. I'll have a few Solana coins, and I'll have, a fraction of Bitcoin. And if something big happens and I can take profit, I can put it into things that I feel like are going to get me more money. But I don't do things based off of speculation. I do things based on facts. Clearly, Apple and Microsoft are my top priority. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if Google ends up dropping down due to all this news and all these lawsuits they're getting, guess what? I haven't lost faith in Google. You go through your hard time, you get things figured out. I'm putting more money into Google because the thing is, businesses have hard times sometimes. You ever had a tough couple of years at work before? I have. Did the business turn things around? I'm pretty sure they did. So who's to think that if your business can do it, why can't Google? Why can't Amazon? Why can't Apple or Microsoft? Like, people let, you know what I'm saying, the hype really get to them, and they hear all these speculative narratives out there that are coming from people who frankly don't know what the heck they're talking about half the time. And the thing is, I came to this epiphany. You lose way more money. I mean, way more money by not investing than you do by investing money in the stock market. Because the thing is, when your asset value goes down, you don't lose money unless you cash out as it's going down. If you just wait for it to go back up, you never lost anything. You get what I'm saying? But sitting around and just waiting and living life and just doing one thing, anything but investing, guess what you're doing? Nothing. Guess what's happening to your money? Nothing. And that is something that should bother you. And it's no shame or nothing. I'm just saying, you should be bothered by the idea that you've been wanting to earn a certain amount of money. And this whole time, you could have been putting your money into this one thing little by little. And regardless of how much it was, it would have grew. You would have made some money. That should bother you because it bothered me. And the last breakthrough I had is that we need before and after pics. You need to take a snapshot of where you're at financially at the end of this year or even at the beginning of next year, and take another snapshot of where you're at the end. As you can see, I do mine monthly, and you can see a clear snapshot of where all my money is at all times. But y'all need to do that too, because sometimes we can feel like we're behind and like we're not really making any progress, but the whole time, we're exactly where we've been praying to get to years ago. At one point, you were praying to get to where you were at, but you didn't keep track, so you don't know. You need to download my free net worth tracker. You need to download my free savings goals tracker. You need to check out my smart money calculator to help you budget your money appropriately. You need to do a lot of these things that are going to help you out. And the thing is, it goes back to faith and self-confidence and not playing the wrong game. Because to me, doing budgeting like a regular way of budgeting monthly is playing the wrong game. Because usually monthly budgets are based off of 4-week intervals. Guess what? There's only 28 days in 4 weeks. There's only 1 month in the year, February, that has 28 days only. Obviously not accounting for leap years here. So if every month has a minimum of 30 days outside of February, you're doing your math wrong. And that mathematical mistake can mess up your finances because you think you have more than you really have. So the smart money calculator combats you against that, and it shows you how much money you're going to have for the whole year, and it shows you how much money you're going to be able to spend every single month outside of your necessities and your bills and your restaurant visits and all those lovely things and going to have fun and entertainment and all that stuff. It factors all that in there. It shows you how much you genuinely have left. And if you don't have anything left, that means you need to make some adjustments. And people are always mind blown when they have a consultation with me and we get on a call and I pull it up and I work with them and show them what their money looks like. They're like, oh man, I had no idea. But check this out, the calculator is $10. I should charge $25 for it, but it's $10. But most people don't want to buy it. You don't have to buy from me. It's okay. But I'm saying most people don't want to make investments in themselves because money's involved. A lot of people don't appreciate free information. So people tend to charge for their products. Plus, they have to make a living too, right? But people are like, oh, money. I don't want to spend money on this. It's like we have a negative association with people going out and putting themselves out there and making money. It's like they don't want other people to make money. Sorry, y'all, my allergies are acting up. Anyway, it's like they don't want other people to make money, or like you're sleazy for offering a product on your site that costs money. Like, I'm adding value to you. And this is not a personal attack against any of you. I appreciate and love all of you, but I'm just simply saying you have to have faith in yourself. If you're not willing to spend $10 on a calculator that might improve your personal finances, that tells me you don't have confidence in yourself. If you don't want to invest in stocks or learn how to invest in stocks, or at least figure out how to start learning to invest in stocks, and by the way, I do have a course that will be coming out later on. But anyway, it teaches you about stocks and how to invest. It's not as risky as you think it is. Stocks are the one thing that are more secure the longer you hold it. Yet we're like, I don't want to lose all my money. Well, are you planning on retiring tomorrow, homeboy? Because last time I checked, you didn't cash out your 401k. You're not doing that till you retire, right? So same concept. I'm not here to get on y'all about investing. I'm here to make sure that y'all take yourself seriously going into the year of 2025, and you have that confidence and you have that faith in what you're doing. But everything that I teach, none of it is based on faith. None of it's based on confidence. You have to come in with that. What I teach is based off of facts, not fiction, not speculation. Facts. I want to know, you know what I'm saying, how much cash a company has on hand. I want to know what companies are they collaborating with. I want to know what their dividend is looking like. I want to know what the revenue is looking like. I want to know what the earnings per share looks like. I want to know all that stuff. That stuff is factual, and that stuff can easily be found. But yet we don't have enough faith in ourselves to learn these things because it's too hard. But most of us have learned things that are hard. Ladies, y'all probably learned how to dance, how to sing, you know what I'm saying, how to do something, how to do your makeup, whatever the case was, whatever you thought it was hard to do, you learned how to do art, whether it's basketball, football, karate, martial arts. In my case, it's Muay Thai. Like, we've all learned things that are difficult to do. The stock market is just another thing to learn that ain't that difficult. It's not the most exciting thing in the world to learn, but guess what is exciting? When you put your money in and then you wake up one day and you done made more than you made at work in the stock market. And that can and will happen if you do it consistently and correctly. And that is all I want you to know. And if you like this video, which I hope you did, go ahead and say something in the comments. But if you like this video, you'll love this video. You can check it out right here.